Howdy, I guess this is what I'm going to do. This is Tim Ward, Timothy C. Ward, Tim Kaiver, Theo Hodges, Tim Ward, said that already. Thought I'd give an update on what the show is that I'm doing here on Rumble. Just created a new website, WardBook.com, and I'm compiling all my different pen names and putting my books up there. It's going to be my online home, and this podcast is a few things. So I'm going to go back to maybe a couple months ago. A friend of mine, Steve Bollier from Athon Books, posted about just encouragement in writing, and I admitted that I had been struggling with writing under my Theo Hodges pen name in particular. It's kind of, I haven't done the best. I know we're not really supposed to compare ourselves to others, so whatever. But it's been kind of hard, and Steve just said, hey, remember to have fun. And so I took that to heart and have been thinking a lot about writing, and a little bit more background is, so depending on which pen name you know me from, it may be a while since you've heard from me, hence this show, so that I can be friends with everybody and have a place to go to interview my author friends and new ones. But you may not know, I had 2 spine surgeries, 2020 and 2021. I had a spine fusion. The first one didn't work, so I did it again. And I have failed surgery syndrome. So it's just pain all the time. And I don't really want to go into that, but it has made waking up in the morning harder to write. It's hard to get out of bed. I thank the Lord that I can and have a full-time job. I'm still able to, my family is taken care of, and I praise the Lord for that. But it's made me think. I'm 41, and I've got this chronic disability, but I still work and I still want to write. And in that depression, because for the last year or more, they haven't known what to do with me. And essentially they're just waiting for me to lose feeling in my legs before they'll do anything. We're actually trying to do some things right now, but it's hard. So I've been struggling with motivation to write, motivation to wake up early before work, especially because now I swim 3 days a week, and so that's like a 2-hour process, because praise the Lord, I can swim, but it's, God put a motor in me. It's strange. It's hard to understand. It's like I want to work really hard, and I can see the goodness of God in this trial. It's almost like the only way God could stop me from working 23 and a half hours a day is through weakness and giving up. And so I've been trying to give myself time, trying to give myself the healing that it needs, and worked really hard physically to get in good shape, and it's still an issue. I have a spine disease that there's no cure for it, so it's just going to get worse. It pushes my spine, and out bone spurs just go out from the spine, and they cause my nerves to hurt. So it's like everywhere but the crown of my head hurts all the time. How do you write? again, I'm thankful to the Lord, and I do try and focus on gratitude, because otherwise I would spiral. So, you know, you may hear me praising the Lord on this channel. It's going to happen, but that's okay. I love you if you don't love him like I do. It's all right. So I've been writing more with, as Steve said, the focus of having fun. Another friend of mine, Kenny Soward, he writes a bunch of apocalyptic books for Mechanic Press, I believe is what it's called. And so I was asking him how he does it, because they're writing like a book a month, 60,000 words, I mean more. And he said that he used to be a pantser and he became an outliner. So I asked him how he does it, because I've tried to outline, as you've heard on the show. It hasn't always worked, and it ends up being an outline after I've written the draft. And then, so like I outline, maybe finishing the outline as part of draft 2. And I'm trying not to do that anymore because it's really hard. It's like backwards. And with the pain that I'm dealing with, it's harder for me to focus for longer periods of time. And so the way I used to write, I was able to write daily, and some days I was able to sit for an hour or more and really get into something. I can't do that as much anymore. I will try, and I'll have to get up and do stretching or whatever, so I can't. So one of the things I realized that was making writing not fun is how hard it was. And so I started thinking about how I can improve. I started to really soul search on the rest of my life, and you know, where is patience? Is the discontent in my heart because I'm not, well, I know that it's because I don't have what I want. So examining what I want and realizing I don't have to have a full-time writing career right now. That's what I want, but I don't have it. And God has given me a great job where I can earn enough money to take care of my family and get insurance if I have to have surgery and whatever. So I can see the wisdom of God in the fact that I'm not writing full-time, and know friends that are writing full-time and they have a lot of stress, and I've already got stress with my back. But I was learning from, so I asked Kenny how he did it, and he said he was using this plotter app. So I was like checking it out, and it's really cool. It's got like a timeline feature, and you can make cards, and I thought I needed a room where I could put note cards on the wall, and that would really give me that visual scope that I needed. I've written with Scrivener for years, and yeah, I like it better than just Word because of how you can switch between chapters without losing your place. In Word, you have to like scroll down back to where you were in that chapter or whatever. So I like Scrivener, but it becomes hard for me, and maybe I just haven't figured it out how it works. So Plotter has a cool timeline feature. It has a character tab, and so what I've done is, so I'm writing book 2 right now in my Gatekeepers series. That's for Athon under my Theo Hodges pen name, and book 1 is waiting to be edited, and I'm writing book 2, and it's a little bit hard, I guess. Plotter is making it easier, but I've had to go back and put in my notes and rebuild the characters, which has been fun. It's slowed me down, so I don't have book 2 done, and it's been about a year. It's been over a year. It took all of 2023. It usually doesn't take me that long to write a book, but I did. Because I'm trying to rebuild my process. So anyway, I'm writing that book for my contract with Athon. And I go to this counseling conference, and our pastor was saying how he counsels people that are in trials to serve in their suffering. It helps take the mind off of what they're suffering as they're serving others. And for me, it's been hard because, well, one of the ways I serve in my church is as a counselor, but I don't sit in a room very well for an hour or more, and what my focus is not, I don't know, it just hasn't. I haven't had any formal counseling in about a year. So I've been thinking about how I can serve others and what I'm good at. I'm good at writing, I think. I might be able to do this video cast thing. Right now I'm making eggs and bacon. And so I'm keto, so I gotta do eggs and bacon a lot. But it's good. Anyway, how can I serve others? That's what I'm thinking about. How can I want to take care of my family. I want to love my family, give them time. But because of my condition, I can't always leave the house, and they go out, and I'm at home and I'm reading. I'm stretching. I wake up early, and well, to make a long story short, I need some pepper jack cheese. 2015 or 2016, I think, I published Godsknife, Revolt as under my Timothy C. Ward, which I also did my Sand Divers Post-apocalyptic Sci-fi. So I've got like this genre pen name, Timothy C. Ward. And I wrote Godsknife Revolt, which is like a post-apocalyptic mutant invasion of Iowa with chaos doctors and order priestesses that can command giant praying mantises and cicadas, and didn't take off like I hoped, and some of the reviews were like, what in the world is this? So it was discouraging, and I took a break from writing to do counseling training around then, and then this book that I had been writing for 7 years, I decided was LitRPG, and went off in a Tim Kaiver pen name, and then Theo Hodges pen name because Tim Kaiver didn't do so great. So I've got these pen names in between Timothy C. Ward released Godsknife Revolt. My contract with Evolve Publishing was 2 books, and I never wrote the second one, and Dave, the publisher there, really understanding. It was really nice when I told him that, like, I'm struggling to write this second book. It doesn't feel like the right fit for me, and with this life lesson that I've been going through, I just felt like, well, I feel like God told me I needed to talk to Dave about this book, and I was just thinking about the expectations we have of others, and then thinking about what we do. And I've got expectations of others to help me when they say they're going to help me, and here I am, I've got a contract that I never fulfilled. And I'm doing that now. So I'm writing the second book for Theo Hodges and the second book for Godsknife now. It's going to be Godsknife Revenge, and I'm excited about it. I've listened to the first book. I'm glad that I can have that. It helps me focus, and then I started coming up with ideas for what the characters want. Dave Lane interview that I had with him, he talked about that and helped me to think about how I can organize and outline this second book. So I've got this project with Theo Hodges that is really hard, and Godsknife, I'm trying to do it in Plotter and see if it can help make me more efficient in my writing time that I have, so that I can write both books, and if I have time, go into it. So with that, now I've got to somehow market Timothy C. Ward and Tim Kaiver. I don't market very much, but he's there. Hi. And Theo Hodges got a contract. I got to write for that. That's a trilogy. So there we go. I got to start doing it. And I thought, well, what if I use some of my podcasting skills? Here's where we get to the point, I guess. And I was talking with Dave. Was looking at Rumble as free speech option for hosting video, and just thought, okay, I'm going to just interview my author friends, my publisher friends, see how they're doing, create videos that maybe they can use in their marketing for their websites or their newsletters, wherever, social media. If we can take clips that we like and put that in a tweet or whatever. I want to do that for authors. I want to help them. My mission on earth may not be to be a bestseller, and that doesn't mean that I'm not important or loved by God. So I want to do what he's given me to do, and I feel like he's given me the ability to write, so I'm going to try and do that as best as I can. And he's also encouraged me to open up this channel to interview authors, and I do want to learn from them, so it's not just for them. I want to learn and become better. But I'm not really so concerned about this channel becoming super popular and making money from it. I hope that it will help the authors that I know and the authors that I read, because I'm going to be reading a lot as part of this channel. It'll help them to get the word out and just wrangle cats. Let's wrangle cats together. So, happy Valentine's Day. Ron Swanson said, you may have thought that I asked for a lot of bacon, when in fact I asked for all the bacon and eggs that you have. And that's what I'm going to have. So, cheers.